will start recording and I'm going to do some presentations, okay? So yeah, let's start. Thanks everyone for being here. Let me promote Victor as a presenter as well. Okay, so yeah, let's start doing introductions. Here with me we have Victor. He's one of our teammates in the support department. So maybe you already know him in case you have some technical questions in the past. So he's here to help me with the webinar. So yeah, he's kind of an expert on audio files and formats and things like that. So he might be helping us in case you have any questions or you feel that I'm lacking some information, he will be able to answer that. Okay, so let me open this document. I want to check. Okay. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'll be ready. Okay, well, I was introducing Victor, and then it's me, Ignacio Ruda. Well, Victor is based in Spain, in our office there, and I'm based in San Francisco, in the United States. So, yeah, in case you ever want to contact someone in America in this time range, you can always contact me. And well, Victor is normally working at this time also, so for technical issues, he will be able to answer as well. Okay, so yeah, today we are going to show you how to create one app for one radio station. We are going to try to make a real app. Okay, you know that in the past we used to have webinars where we would explain functionalities of MovingCube, but now we are doing like real examples webinars. Okay, so we will try to create one app that will be published after the webinar. Okay, so in this case, we took one of our users who didn't know how to create an app for his radio station, and we spoke with him and so that we could make the app for him. Okay, so yeah, in this case, we have a radio station from Mexico, I think it is, or I'm not sure if it's other country. I'm sorry if I'm saying wrong. Okay, or Costa Rica, maybe this CR here. Okay, anyway, so he has a radio station. He's using Seno Radio or something, and Southcast. Okay, yeah, it's from Mexico. Victor's telling me. Okay, thanks. So yeah, he has his radio station in Southcast. Okay, well, it's one provider called Seno Radio or something like that. Okay, the thing is that he has the stream available in Shoutcast. Let me show you. It's called Frequencial Lerna. I cannot find it now. But well, anyway, I have the link anyway. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so first, well, I will assume that you already know about basics of MovingCube, so I will do the app, but I won't spend time explaining all the process. Okay, so if I create one bar and I add some icons, I will assume that you already know how to do that. Okay, so well, in case you don't, just use the chat and let us know that you need to know how to do that. Okay, and then I will be slower. Okay, but before starting, I'd like to make some introductions. I mean, not introductions. Sorry, some overview about the formats, about the radio stations, and those kind of things. Okay. So, well, as you know, if you're here today, it's because I guess you already have a radio station, so you already know that there are different technologies. One of the standards on the market is this Shoutcast. Okay, this is like an aggregator for radio. So if you have a radio from other provider, okay, like Sound Radio or I think live to radio or something like that. They normally integrate with Shoutcast. Okay, so this is a standard. And there's this other website called Radionomy. Okay, so this is the one that bought Shoutcast, and they are trying to make a really friendly interface and things like that. Okay, so your radio might be probably able to be integrated with Radionomy. Okay, so this is one of the providers I'm going to use today. Okay. Well, there are, I can say names about other technologies. There are technologies like Mixler that you can also use, and they will provide the broadcast thing. There are other providers like Nicecast, Spreaker, I'm just using some of them so that you know some names in case you want to, in case you don't have a radio and you want to start one. Okay, there are different technologies out there. Okay, so now I'm mentioning some providers for online content. Okay, but then you have others that where you can place content offline. Okay, and then have the radio, like you have WOSA. Okay, for example, this one, or you have, well, you have Radionomy, VLC server. I mean, there are different providers. Okay, but well, I'm not gonna really spend a lot of time. The thing is that whatever provider you're using, in case you want to create an app with MobileCube, you should be sure that they can provide a link, a direct link to the audio streaming. Okay, and they should work with standard formats as MP3, AAC, or Borgvis, some things like that. Okay, so those are the formats that most radio providers use. Okay, so, and they should work in your app. Okay, MP3 and AAC are really common formats. Okay, so there are ways to play those formats in MobileCube. Okay, some radio stations use containers. Some of them, they just give you some container that you can use in your website, like a Flash player widget or an MP4 widget, things like that. Okay, some of them can also be used in MobileCube, probably as a embedded website. Okay, well, and also the protocol is important. Okay, because normally they will provide you a link to the radio station. Okay, most of the time, or probably the most common protocol that you already know is the HTTP. You know, all the websites start with HTTP, right? Like this one. Okay, but there are some other protocols like the RTSP or RTP. Okay, the second one is not supported by Apple. Okay, so if you are planning to create one app for Android, Apple, or iOS and Windows Phone, you shouldn't use RTSP protocol. Okay, so be sure that your radio provider uses HTTP. Okay, and that way you will guarantee that it will work on different platforms. Okay. Yeah. So let's start creating the app. Okay, and then I will show you. Okay. Well, I can provide some examples of radios as well. Well, those are in Spanish, I think. Since that we have a lot of people in Latin America or Spain using MobileCube for creating radio stations. But some of them are in States as well, but I couldn't find examples. Okay, but here you have some of them. I have a radio integrated. Okay. Well, now we are going to start one app from scratch. Okay, so I just wanted to show you some examples of apps. Okay, let's close them. And let's move on to MobileCube. Let me confirm. Can you see my screen, right? Okay, so I'm going to start. Okay, so we will have two parts for this webinar. First, I will create the real app, okay? There are different ways to play radios on your apps from OpenCube. So I will start with one of them, and I will create a real app with that way of creating radios, okay? And after that, I will create a small app using different ways to play sounds, okay? So yeah, let's create a new app. It will be called Frecuencial Turna, for example, in English. I'm not going to use an icon now. Okay, let's go straight forward and then spend time here. Okay, so I'm going to go to edition mode. Okay, and well, probably you know that there are different ways to play sounds in OpenCube. Okay, so basically you have three. Let me explain them quickly, and then I will start creating the app. Okay, well, you know we have actions in OpenCube, and there are some actions related with sounds. The first one is the action called player. Okay, it will open the multimedia player of your device, and as a parameter, it accepts one URL. Okay, so you can use the player action to play some streaming from the multimedia player of your device. Okay, that's the first one. And then we have the action play, that it will accept one audio resource from the resource manager. So wherever in your app you create the action play, you can play a sound that is stored in the app as a resource or on a server as a remote resource. Okay, and then there's another way to play audio files that is embedding a website. Okay, so if you use a web screen and you put a website inside your app and that website has sounds, then your app will play those sounds as well. Okay, so well, in the first example we are going to use the second one. Okay, we will use the action play and stop. Okay, so well, I'm going to create one really simple app. Okay, basically a main screen with a play button, and then I will have some navigation buttons on the bottom. Okay, so this first will be a detailed screen. Well, I'm going to use two bars. Okay, let me first, well, it's going to be about these radio stations. Okay, you see, this website is a little bit messy, maybe, because it has, I mean, not messy for the website, but if I try to put this whole website embedded in my app, since it has a lot of different widgets, they will look really small on the app. Okay, so it won't look really nice on the app. Okay, so I'm just going to try to take some essence of that website, like the black background color, for example. Okay, then I'll have two bars, one for the header. I'm going to do this really quick. Header bar. Again, I'm doing this quickly because I assume that you already know how to do the basic stuff in OpenCube. Okay, so let me upload some resources. I will use these resources and also this one and this one, and this one. Okay, these are my resources for this app. So for the header, I'm going to use this one. Okay. Well, I'm going to put it inside a table. Okay. So that I can have the whole bar with a black background. Okay. So well, let me give you some warning. This week we are experiencing some technical issues. Okay, so I'm not sure if the app that we are going to create today will finally work on the device. Let me refresh the screen. Something happened. Let me go for the bar again. Okay, I have this bar. Okay, then I'll put the image inside the table. I will use this logo. Let's make it a bit smaller in the middle. Okay, this should be okay. Okay, so this is my header bar, pretty simple. Then let me finish the bars first. So I will have play bar, for example, on the bottom with 4 icons. Well, since I want 4 icons, I'll do 25% sales. Let's do this really quick. An info button. Then I'll have the play button. Then I'll have the web button. Well, I will link this button. I want this button to open the website of the radio. Okay. And finally, I will add like a contact button. Okay. This one I would use the action open URL and then mail to frequencyalterna@frequencyalterna.com. Okay. Well, I want also the table to be black. Okay. Well, I have my 2 bars. Well, let me also create the info screen. Okay, this is going to be really quick. It will be a detail screen. It will have the same bar, and then I will have a different bar. I'm not sure if I should make a copy of this bar because it's too risky, but let's try. Okay, I have this bar, application bar. It's going to be basically the same bar, but I want to highlight the info button. Okay. Well, I will use the action back on the play button so that I go to the main screen, and then I will use a different color for this first cell since it's going to be the same active section. Okay. For example, this one. Okay. So I have my bar for the info section. Okay. And then I'll add some image. Let me select it again. And some text in the middle, small size, in metal white, metal blue, sorry. Well, let me find, I have some text ready for this one. Let me find the email from the user, so I use the real text, okay? I think I have it here. Okay, so, well, the text is in Spanish and the user is from Mexico, but anyway. And then I'll have white text in the middle, and Here's the text. What size? Okay, and then I'm going to have some space at the bottom. Okay, just to make it nicer. Let me find a transparent image. I think I have one from other webinar here. Okay, so I'll use this transparent image and let's make it smaller. Okay, so now I have this margin, okay, on the bottom. Okay, so this is my info screen. Okay, so let's go back to the main screen, and now I will link this first icon to my info. Go to screen, info. Okay, so that's all I needed. Well, let's do the play button also blue. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to really start making the audio. Yeah, of course, Saul is asking if you can create radios with the free version. I mean, MobileCube is free. We have a free plan. That's not a trial. Okay, you can use the free plan and create full apps with all our functionality. Okay, so yeah, of course you can use it. So, one moment, please. Okay, sorry, I was having some snack. Where was I? So this is the main screen. So basically, I want people to open the app, and just have a play button, okay? Because I guess if I'm the radio station owner, I want people to use my app to listen to radio, okay? So let's put things easy, and if they open the app, just have a big play button, okay, so they can play it. Okay, so let me keep doing the app a little bit nicer. I'm going to have a background image for this screen. It will have this wave, okay? So now I want a big play button in the middle. Let's use an image. Then I use this icon. Well, not as big, maybe 40%. And okay, I want this button, but I want this button to overlap the background image. Okay, so I want to move it a little bit to the bottom, okay, or to the middle of the screen. So in order to do that, I need to add some space above the image. So let's use an image, and I will use again the transparent image. Okay, I have this image. Let's put it on the top. Okay, so well, still not yes overlapping the image, but let's do this transparent image smaller so that I can get I'm not sure if you can see it, but the play button is moving down and up if I change the size of the transparent image. Okay, so now I have here in the middle. Okay, so let's make this 60%. Okay, so I have this main screen. Okay, so instead of having the action play in this button, since I cannot use two actions in the same element, okay, because if I click on play, I want this button to change to a stop button, okay? So if I click on play, I will have to move to a different screen with a different image, okay? So in this new screen, I will have a timer that will start the sound, and I will have this button to stop the sound. Okay, so let's copy this screen. Let's make a copy of this screen. I will call it stop screen. Okay, so for the first, something's okay. Let's press F5. It seems this clock froze. Okay, so I'm going to use the action go to screen stop. And now I can edit the stop screen. Okay, I'm going to change this image. So I will use the stop image. Okay. And I want this screen to start playing a sound automatically when it loads. Okay, so I'm going to use a timer. Timer will be like 1 millisecond, and the action, and this is where the radio thing starts. Okay, I'm going to use the action play. Okay, this is for playing a sound resource. Okay, so I need to have an audio resource in my resource manager. Okay, so let's open the resource manager here, and I'm going to upload a resource. Okay, and since I want to use a radio, I cannot use an offline resource. Okay, but because I don't have an audio file that I can put in my app and play the sound. Okay, so I need to use a remote resource. Okay, because you know an audio streaming, it's really a file. Okay, there's a URL pointing to some file. It's like a dynamic file, but it is a file. Okay, so I'm going to use, let me find the URL for that radio. Okay, so I'm going to use this URL here. This is the URL for the radio provider for this radio station. Okay, so if you click on accept, it will be loaded as a resource. Okay, you see that this icon says that it is an online resource. Okay, but it's an audio file. Okay, the thing is that if you use a URL for your resource, for your online resource, as I told you before, you need to use MP3 or AAC formats. But the thing is that your URL doesn't really necessarily need to have that MP3 extension. Okay, we use the MIME type. Okay, I don't know how you call it in English, MIME type or something like that. Okay, so as far as the MIME type says that it is an audio file, then MobileKey will recognize it. Oh, they told me that they have this radio in Radionomy. Let me check. It seems the same radio is in Radionomy. Oh yeah, but without a website. Let me check. Maybe I used the wrong name. Okay, so this is the station. Yeah, this is the same station, I think. Okay. Yeah, Victor was telling me on Slack. Okay, so I have this audio file now. Yeah, I was telling you about the extension. You don't need to have the MP3 extension on the URL as far as it uses an audio MIME type. Okay, so now in my timer, I can use the action play, and the action play will always play an audio resource of my resource manager. Okay, so I click on destination here, and I will select my audio file. Okay, even if it's an online audio file. Okay, so whenever someone clicks on the play action, then the audio file will be played. Okay, until the end. Okay, or until someone uses the action stop. Okay, look here, we have the action play, and then we have the action stop. Okay, so for the action stop, we can tell the app to stop a certain audio file. Okay, so the thing is that when they come to this screen, the audio file will be played automatically, and then we have the stop image. So I want to stop the radio listening when they click on stop. Okay, but if I use the action stop on the image, it will stop the audio, but it won't change the icon. Okay, but since I want the icon to be again the play button. If they stop the sound, I won't use the action stop here. Instead of that, I will use the action go to screen and main screen. Okay, so in the main screen, I will have the action stop as a timer. Okay, 1 millisecond, and I will use action stop, and I will stop the same audio file. Okay, so well, basically this is our app. Okay, let's try to publish it and see if it works. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sunny. Well, I haven't checked it. I'm not sure if it will work because the first screen has the stop action, but the first time that audio file won't be playing. So I'm not sure if we'll have some error there. Let's try it. Okay, and if it doesn't work, then we should have a third screen really looking really exactly like the first screen with a play button and the action stop. Okay, so well, let's wait 3 minutes until the app is generated. In the meantime, do you have any questions? No questions? Okay. So well, in the meantime, well, while it's being generated, we can talk about different ways for playing sounds. Okay. Let's talk about the player action, and also let's talk about embedding websites. Okay. Maybe I will create a new app. Okay. And in 2 minutes, I will come back here and see if this one is ready. Okay, sorry. Because I'm having internet issues today. So let's create a new app. It will be radio alternatives. Okay, perfect, Nancy. It's great to see you again. It's been a long time, by the way. My internet connection is going really slow. Okay, Abby. In case you want to do that, you shouldn't use the play action. Okay, we are going to discuss other alternatives. Okay, for example, if you use radionomy, for example, this one, let me try this one. Well, not this one, but let's use the player. You see some radios. If you use this, well, some radio providers as radionomy, they can provide this widget. So if you use it, you see like the song that is being played, and you see the name of the artist and the name of the song. Okay, so yeah, we can put this inside our app, and this is what we are going to see. Okay, so if you like Elvis Costello, you can keep it playing. Okay, well, I was kidding. So what's happening? Okay, I lost my session. Sorry. Oh, I put that wrong name. Okay. Let me check if the app is ready, because maybe in this time that we were trying to access, maybe we had the app ready. So let's go here to publish. Yeah, it's ready. So, okay, before going to the alternatives, I've never seen him. Well, in fact, I don't really know his music. I should try. Okay, sorry, my mistake. Victor is telling me that this radio station is not from Mexico. They are from Phoenix. Okay, sorry for that. So, well, I'm not sure if you have an Android device. So, in case you do, you can try this URL in your phone. I'm not sure about the pricing of Radinimi. I think it's free. Okay, totally free. They changed some pricing things, so I think now you can use it totally for free. So, well, anyway, I'm going to try to install the app on my Android device in case you don't have an Android device with you, and I will show you with my webcam. Okay, let me download it. Well, I think it is free for radio providers, for radio stations. But I'm not sure if you have the license to use other radios from Radionomy in your app if you're not the owner. I'm not sure of that. Just check terms and conditions, okay? So, okay, I'm installing the app. Let me start my web. Can you see my webcam now? My phone? It's installing. Well, we have problems today with app generation. I'm not sure if it will work. Can you see it? Can you see my phone? Yes? Okay. Let's hope it. Okay, now it works. They fixed it. Great, because we had issues in this morning's webinar. So this is the radio station. Well, I forgot to remove advertisement, but it's okay. Okay, so I have this play button. Okay, so if I click on it, it will change to the stop screen and it will play the sound automatically. Okay. Okay, you see it? Okay, so now I'm going to click on stop and I'm supposed to go to the main screen and stop the sound. Okay, you see? Really simple. It worked. Okay, then I have this info screen with the text of the radio, and then I can click here to open the URL of the radio. Okay, and you see, this is the website. You see it has all the small widgets, so it doesn't look really nice on the phone because they are really small. But if I can play the radio also from the website. You see? Okay. So you can put this website embedded in your app and it will work, the audio. This is a different way to play audio. Okay. So you have a responsive website for your radio. You can just use embedded website in your app. Okay. And that should also work. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. So you see that it worked perfectly, but now we are going to check some alternatives. Okay, so we will create a really simple app without any style or something, just some buttons on the screen to check different possibilities, okay? If my connection lets me do it. Okay, so let's create a new app, call it Radio Alternatives. And okay, let's go to edition mode. And we will have only one option list. Well, not only, but let's add 3 options. The first option will be the player. Okay, so instead of using a resource, we will use the URL to the streaming. Okay, so let's use action player, and let me find the URL again. This is the URL. Same radio. Okay, so the action player will open the multimedia player of my phone. Okay, so this is going to be different to the action play. Okay, because if you use the action play, remember that the user stays in the app. Okay, so you can keep doing things in the app while the audio is playing. Okay, but if you use the action player, oh sorry, Victor is telling me that I forgot to share my screen after the webcam. Sorry for that. Well, I just created this option list, okay, with the action player, and I pasted the URL here, okay. So it will open the multimedia player, okay. So I will have some controls on the audio streaming. I will be able to pause the audio or change the volume from the player, things like that, okay. But it will be from outside the app, okay. We will see. And then we can use the embedded website, online website. We will have this new screen. It's going to be a website, and I'll use the same URL, and you'll see. Okay. Well, you can still have some bars. You can have the website in the middle, but you can still have some navigation bars on the bottom or some headers on the top. Okay. So I will link my main menu. With this new screen, and finally, this might be a little bit more advanced, but I will have an offline widget. Okay. And well, the thing is that let's go back to Radionomy. I have this radio station, and if you click on Export Table Player, you get here the HTML code for this widget. Okay. So if you want to use this widget in your app, I mean, you can use this widget in your website. Okay. But you can, well, you can create one website with only that widget. Okay. So I have this, let me delete this. Well, I'm not sure, this might be advanced for some of you, maybe if you don't have any HTML knowledge, but let me give you some small introduction. So this is the basic structure of an HTML file of a website. Okay, so I have this header that defines the file, and then I have the body, and this is where I put all my elements, my images, my layers, my tables, all the things. Okay, so yeah, if you take this code that Radionomy is providing, okay, you just copy this code and you put it here between the body tags. Okay, I'm going to save it. You're not, I thought I was sharing, you're not watching my screen, right? Sorry. I thought I was sharing my whole screen, not only the internet browser. Okay, sorry, I think I'm in love. Okay, so let me show you again. So this is the basic structure of a HTML file or a website. I have the header and I have the body. So inside the body, I put all the elements. Okay, so if I, if I copy this HTML content that they are providing me and I paste it here, I save it, and well, this is my website, marketing.movinecube.com/temp/radio/index.html. Okay. So you see, this is my widget. Well, this is a website only with one widget. If I see the source code of this website, you see that it's exactly the same that I created. Okay. So I'm going to, let me find the code. I'm going to take let me show you. I have this file. This is the file that I just created. So if you want to use it in MovingCube, you just need to put it inside a zip file. Well, it has to be called index.html in order to MovingCube to recognize it as the main file for your web module. So just put it in a zip file, call it as you want, radio.zip, for example. So now I'm going to create another web screen. But this time, I'm going to use an offline or a local web. Okay, so basically I'm going to upload my zip file here. Okay, so now I have my zip file as a resource. So I'm going to use it as a local website. I'm not sure if you knew that functionality of MovingCube, but since 3 or 4 months ago, we let you put your own HTML and JavaScript code locally inside your app. Okay, so now you can expand the functionality of your app. Okay, you can create your own apps. You can create login and password screens. You can create apps with some screens that use JavaScript to decide where either if you want to take the user to a menu in English or a menu in Spanish, for example. Okay, you can do some programming now in your apps of MovingCube. Okay, so that's what we did. Okay, I'm going to link my menu to this widget, and yeah, basically that's all. Okay, so let's publish this example and let's see how it works. Okay, so it will take again like 3 minutes. Yeah, it's really powerful, I think. Now you can create games with MovingCube, you can create PDF readers, you can create really complex stuff, okay? Well, and of course, if you have some HTML skills, you can not only display your widget here, you can add some more nice features here in your website, okay? Or you can put it in the middle of the screen, because I just copied from Radionomy, so it will be on the left side, and you know, but you can, if you know how to program or develop in HTML, you can customize everything. Okay. So yeah, let's wait 2 minutes. In the meantime, do you have any questions? No questions? Okay, that's good. So, well, I guess if you don't have any questions, it's because it is really easy to use, right? Or I'm a great teacher, maybe. Well, it should be ready really soon. Okay, maybe 1 more minute. Okay. Well, there are some other, if you don't have Radionomy, but you have only Shoutcast compatible radio, you can also use some of these. If you get this file, for example, imagine that you want to play this radio, you can download a definition file for using these players, like Winamp, for example. So if you download this file and you open it, okay, you will see the URL. Well, not sure if this format. Let's try with a different one, M3U maybe. Open with notes. I'm not sure if this is linked. Let's try. Yeah, okay, you can use also this URL as an embedded website, and you'll see this player on the screen. Okay, this should be also really easy, like embedding this URL. And then we have this one. Let's see. No, it's always the same URL. Okay. There are some other radios that provide some other URL format. I don't have the example right now. Anyway, because the thing is that maybe you're using some provider. Okay, it's done. I'm going to install it. Maybe you're using some other radio provider. Okay, but you have to be sure that they can provide a link to the audio file. Okay. So thank you, Sonny. It was nice to see you again. Well, not see you, but okay. So I'm going to install the app. Let me start my webcam again. Okay, so I'm going to install it. Oh, my phone is flying. Okay, so I have these 3 options. So the first one is the player action. So we'll open the player. Well, it might ask me which player I want to use. Let's say, I don't know, music. Okay, so it's opening the player. Well, I guess it depends on the device that you have. So it's opening my player on the top, so I can pause it. Well, this doesn't really make sense since it's an audio streaming file. Okay, I can close it, or I can use a different player like Google Music maybe. It's always on the top. Let's try video, for example. Okay, now I have a full screen player. So I have this one, I have like volume control. The thing is that now I can, no, it closes. So if I change, it closes. Well, I guess it depends on the device. So in some devices, it won't close. No, in this one it closes. I guess this is an LG G3, so I think the player action doesn't stop. Well, I have this option here to reduce it. So, well, in the LG I can have this widget on the top. Oh, I love this one. Okay. So let's go to the second option. It was the embedded website. So it will open the website inside my app. Okay. Well, I don't have any bar, but I'm still inside the app. Well, I have the app banner. Okay. So I have the radio here. This is the embedded website. I can play the radio if I click on my widget. You see? Okay. And finally, the offline widget. Okay, I have my widget. It opens. Well, it's offline widget, but since the streaming is online, it will take some time. But you see, I have the same widget that I had in Radionomy, so I can play it. So if you use this widget, you will have always like the image of the song that is being played. You will have the name of the artist and the name of the song. It takes some extra time to buffer. You see, I have my radio. So if you use an embedded website or a widget or the action play, you can exit the app and it will still sound. So I can do other things with my app. Okay, so if I go back to my app, I can stop it. Okay. Well, with the action play, it's the same. It will keep playing, and you can go multitasking, go to a different app, and as far as you don't close this app, it will keep playing the sound. Okay. So okay, so well, I guess this is all you needed to know in order to create a radio station app. Okay, so well, I'm not sure if you have any questions about all the process or any other thing. So, well, in case you don't or someone is leaving, I just wanted to thank you for being here today, and I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you put everything in practice and can create a really nice app. Well, of course, let me give you some recommendation. Today I created a really simple app, just with a play button and one screen for information. Okay, but if you want to create a really engaging app for your customers or your audience, you should have more options in your app. Okay, because if you just give them the radio streaming, they might prefer to use the Shoutcast app, for example. Okay, because they will have the same thing. Okay, but if you provide them with more content, for example, you can add some screen in your app with showing your Facebook channel, or you can show picture gallery or some chat so that your audience can have a chat between them. Okay, so if you provide more functionality, then they will use your app. Okay, so don't only try to provide the radio streaming. Okay, try to give more content in your app. Okay, so it will be more engaging. Okay, so yeah, so again, thank you for being here, and yeah, I can be here for 5-10 minutes if you need me for questions. And do you have a resume doc for this course? No, I don't, but well, I recorded it, so tomorrow the recording of this webinar will be available. So if you go to bigmarker.com/mobbingcube and then go to conferences, look for this conference and click on it so you will access the video, okay? And the app model. Well, once it's published, we will send you the link. I will publish the link on this same. Well, this webinar has a section in Big Marker. Okay, so if I can add comments after the webinar, so we will publish the URL of this radio on Big Marker. Okay, so you can see the real app. It will be published on Google Play. Okay, so no questions? Okay, cool. So yeah, no questions today. So yeah, again, thank you for coming. Thank you, Victor, for supporting us. And yeah, see you on the next webinar. Okay, bye-bye.